Welcome to Worldwide Business. I'm Kathy Ireland. A customer experience program is a massive undertaking with many factors determining its overall success. Loyalty Methods CEO Emil Sarkissian is here to talk about how his company helps build and support successful large-scale programs in a safe, simple, quick, and elegant manner. Welcome, Emil.
Thank you very much. Very glad to be here.
Emil, what are some of the complexities that come with the implementation of a customer experience solution?
Well, as you mentioned, Kathy, the customer experience programs that people put in place can be quite challenging.
Sure.
And there's definitely several aspects of them that could be throwing those challenges for customers. And firstly, it's important to pick the right strategy and to make sure that your CX strategy, your customer experience strategy, actually resonates with your target customer base and also leverages the uniqueness of your business model. It's also very important to get the technological side of it, the technology implementation, and make sure that it is comprehensively done and covers all the different touch points that the customer has with the company. And then finally, there's also the learning aspect of it. Does the company do a good job of analytics? Do they understand whether the program is really working? I think that's another aspect that people sometimes overlook.
So what does your company bring to the table to ensure that these implementations are successful?
There's a number of things that Loyalty Methods brings to the table. We, as you mentioned, the CX implementation, a customer experience implementation does not end with just technology. I think there's a comprehensive set of skills. And so we like to think of it as an end-to-end process where we bring all the delivery skills, all the experience, and all the technology side of it together in a way that kind of gives us a focused approach that delivers the outcome that we want. Our methodology is one that's been honed over in the last 8 years to sort of bring those kinds of projects to a successful completion. And so we can bring any of these undertakings towards a long-term success, not just something that happens once and, hey, it came together and it's fine. I think it's more about getting the learning process and the improvement over time, evolving the platform. So that's really where we want to be.
Let's take a closer look at Loyalty Methods and their large-scale customer experience solutions.
When it comes to implementing customer experience programs, many organizations fail to grasp how comprehensive these programs truly are. This usually leads to underestimating the effort or implementing projects that go well but fall short of delivering any real benefit. Loyalty Methods is a leader in the industry that is equipped with the end-to-end delivery skills, experience, and technology to make any customer experience program undertaking a long-term success.
For the past several years, we've enjoyed a highly productive partnership with Loyalty Methods. They've helped us to both shape and implement our award-winning Rapid Rewards customer loyalty program. Together, we have achieved several landmark achievements, and we look forward to expanding our relationship with Loyalty Methods as we look for new and innovative ways to serve the needs of our Southwest Airlines customers.
The strength of Loyalty Method lies in their highly skilled bench strength, namely their people. They're high performers who know how to effectively partner and execute with excellence. They also possess an exceptional understanding of our unique business and product solutions we require, translating that into outstanding results. Their get-it-done attitude also pairs well with the Southwest Warrior spirit, all of which makes for an unbeatable team.
Emil, as you're aware, CRM used to be all the rage. So how does customer experience relate to that world?
That's a very good point. I think back in the late 90s and the early 2000s, CRM was something that we all worked on quite a lot. And really CRM is about building a 360-degree view of the customer, but it's sort of looking from the inside of the brand out to the customer, and it's really focused on the brand's understanding of the customer and collecting information at all the different touch points to leverage that information every time the customer comes back. Now that is a sort of an inside to outside look of the customer. I think CXM, Customer Experience Management, builds on that and sort of tries to, it's about brands trying to see themselves through the eyes of the customer, through the experiences of the customer, and through the journey that the customer makes with the brand across all the different touch points and throughout the customer life cycle. So it's a little bit of a sort of build up on top of CRM that kind of complements it in a nice way.
You take such great lengths to understand the customer, and could you please share a little bit more about what a customer experience program entails and how it relates to that customer loyalty?
As I mentioned before, the customer experience program itself is really about defining a number of business processes that are geared towards managing interactions of customers with the brand across all of these different channels and throughout the customer life cycle, all the way from the initial interest in intriguing the customer through the purchase, through the post-purchase experience, and all the way to social media advocacy and sort of having that customer really become a passionate advocate for the brand. So when we look at customer experience, adding those aspects and those dimensions to what already exists from CRM world, I think creates that deeper relationship that goes beyond transactional loyalty. And by transactional loyalty, I mean the typical exchange of, you purchase products, I give you points. Anyone can do that. I think CX gives you a little bit of extra depth of the relationship and understanding of the customer.
You give more than what's expected. What are some of the additional benefits of having a well-designed loyalty solution?
As I mentioned, transactional loyalty, as people call it, and sort of giving points and rewards. I mentioned that is something that can be enhanced by CX, but it's also still a very important component. And what's interesting about it is that people think of it as a way to just increase purchase frequency. So, if we give people points, they'll come back and buy more frequently. So that's part of it, but I think the bigger part that people overlook is the fact that it generates a lot of good information about customers. Because when customers are in a loyalty program, they have an incentive to provide accurate information of who they are so they can receive the rewards.
Sure.
And so that information can then be leveraged to actually be more, provide more personalized experiences and understand the interactions that this customer is having with the company as an individual, rather than just in the aggregate.
Right.
So I think a lot of that is overlooked, the information that's been gathered. I think the other aspect of it is what we call self-segmentation. A lot of loyalty programs have tiers. It could be a welcome tier, gold tier, and so on, different types of platinum and so on. I think customers essentially self-segment themselves. Automatically who are your best customers because they floated up to your top tier.
Right.
And I think that is something that's very valuable because you can then start to treat customers, according to their status. And so understanding how dedicated to your brand they are and being loyal to them, being loyal back to them because they're already giving you their loyalty, right? So those are some of the aspects that are sort of more deep than just, hey, this is just a frequency thing.
In your experience, how can a brand create a truly differentiated loyalty program that customers really respond to?
And this is not obviously there's no formula for this, but it's a very good question. A lot of customers start there. Okay, we want to do something with loyalty. How do we do that? How do we get from where we are to a good loyalty, good CX type solution? And I think the first part of it is defining strategy and making sure that you leverage the unique aspects of the brand to actually create the program. It's not just about having, hey, I think the biggest thing is not to avoid having a Me Too program. That's a big thing. I think on a more tactical level, I think it's about three different aspects. It's about defining the right structure in terms of rules that is easily understood by both your customers and your employees, not just the customer. Employees should be able to apply those rules easily. I think the second part is obviously the implementation, the delivery. How do we make sure that a customer is recognized everywhere? It's pointless to go to a website and not be recognized and then go to the store and be recognized because that's inconsistent. And I think the name of the game basically with the channels is to make sure that you're consistent and that you have a speedy delivery of rewards and experiences through the channels. And again, finally, the economics should work too. So, just having a differentiated solution is great, but if you're paying a lot of money and losing money on that, then it's probably, has to be tuned to make sure that economically it works as well.
Customer experience programs are not just about technology. They are a comprehensive cross-functional change. Loyalty Methods is equipped to execute these programs end-to-end, which includes marketing strategy, supplying technology platform, implementation, support, and evolution. Loyalty Methods can seamlessly integrate into any existing marketing technology landscape, and they have over 8 years of experience building large-scale customer experience programs. In addition to Southwest Airlines, their high-profile clients include Starbucks, Alaska Airlines, and Eliza Peruzzi of Century 21.
We engaged with Loyalty Methods about 2 years ago to help us implement a CRM system. We had several lines of data and various feeds coming in from legacy systems, and they were able to help us consolidate that information and really bring it all together into one concise real-time database so that we were able to access our consumer data in real time and use that data to impact consumer behavior and purchasing. They're really a trusted partner. They wanted the success as much as we did. So it's really great that you work with a partner that you trust and that you trust to know that they know your data as well as you do.
What types of technologies have you used, and what do you plan to use in the future to create further success for your customers?
The marketplace for technology has exploded in the last several years. It's become enormous. It's crowded. There's a lot of confusion about what does what. And so Loyalty Methods has actually developed a process, a model that we sort of have this layered model that we take all these applications and we try to understand where they fit into the picture. So conceptually we have this model, then we fit the technology into the picture. So we like to think of ourselves as sort of a department store where we're making an outfit.
Right.
And I think the jacket could be an Armani, the pants could be Hugo Boss. So we pick different products, but we all make sure in the end that the final system matches our footprint that we really want. So we're able to then integrate these technologies in a way that makes sense. And that starts even with existing investments. We don't have to buy new things. I mean, sometimes you have, if you go back to the outfit analogy, you have something in your wardrobe, maybe you can use that. Same with companies. They have technologies they've already invested, and we can leverage those. Sometimes you need to build custom applications to kind of glue it together. And Loyalty Methods is really the glue that puts together these types of systems.
The efficiency is incredible. And Emil, can you tell us more about your new platform? How does this fit in?
Right. So essentially, over the last 8 years or so, we have built quite a few systems and looked at a lot of different enterprise contexts. And so today, we're sort of offering a new platform called Reactor CX, and it sort of looks at our experiences and incorporates a lot of the sort of gaps that we see. As we try to put together these outfits, these marketing outfits, and these footprints, we often see gaps and we have to put some code in there and some glue, and so to make sure that it all works together, I think the next step from that is to build something that fits together naturally, so it doesn't have to be combined. And so if you look at it from an economic perspective, I think it also makes sense because Reactor CX comes as both a product but also a corresponding service, and they're both built for each other. And we like to think of it as an analogy, as the Apple analogy. Apple wins because it has hardware and software together. Right. The same with this. We're trying to not separate product and implementation. We're trying to say product and service should go together and should be more congruent that way.
And what would your advice be to businesses that are embarking on a new implementation?
The advice that we usually give to our customers is a lot of times they'll call us out of the blue and say, hey, we see you guys doing this for Starbucks and that for Southwest Airlines, and what do you think we should do? And I think the first step that we would say is try to define a vision and an overall strategy, but also stay iterative and try to do it, sort of piecemeal, but within that strategic framework. And so that allows you to learn, to get some feedback, and to course correct. So in that process, also try to validate everything that you're assuming about your customers. Validated learning is what it's called. There's a whole lean startup methodology out there that deals with that. But basically, understand whether your assumptions about your customer are really right before you put all this money into technology and trying to implement a program. I think talking to customers who already have, our customers or somebody else, who's already implemented something like that is very valuable, and people seem to not reach out enough to the big success stories out there. Most people are very happy to share their success story and say, how did we actually build it? What would we do differently if we go back? So like if you go to somebody like an airline and you're a retailer and you go to somebody like an airline, you can still learn a lot. It doesn't have to be a competitor that you're learning from.
Oh, I love that, the power of learning and being mentored. It's always there and available. And lastly, Emil, how does your company support a CX solution once it's implemented at a brand?
That is a great question. A lot of these investments in technology are basically long-term investments, and so Loyalty Methods has a couple of ways that we can support an ongoing implementation, and that kind of goes into full use. If you look at our support processes, they operate on two levels. First of all, we become a strategic partner a lot of times, so people call us and ask us for advice of what to do next and how to evolve the platform, just from a conceptual standpoint and from a strategic standpoint.
Sure.
As they measure and learn, they also want some advice. They want to know what we're doing as we go forward. But I think there's also the operational side of it. We have a very strong support center that we actually offer to our customers at different levels depending on what they need. And we're able to support their programs and their technology over the long term and make sure that it's always up and running and the customers are always getting the experience that they should be getting.
Large-scale customer experience solutions certainly are your forte, and Loyalty Methods has so much to offer. It's been extraordinary to learn more about your business. Thank you so much, Emil, for
Kathy.
joining us today.
Very, very happy to be here.
Thank you. For Worldwide Business, I'm Kathy Ireland. Thanks for watching.